Warning, the following stream contains flashing effects which may trigger discomfort or seizures for those with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to RPG CAPR, the channel where we cap RPGs of various design, coming to you live from the soda dimension where the ball caps live and the CO2 bubbles never stop rising. Today we resume Final Fantasy for the Nintendo Entertainment System, with the level cap being 50, and our current levels being 7 across 4 black mages. Let's resume the adventure. Alright, let's start up. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just had to collect my thoughts here. Alright, so we're resuming the adventure with level 7 black mages here. Okay, all of our hit points have now been increased into triple figures, with magic points showing a chart 5 charges for level 1, 3 charges for level 2, and 2 charges for level 3. We have 1,884 more points to the next level, 42 gold to start, and large knives traded in from the little small knives, cloths, and gloves with VTBR having a cap on. And for our item inventory, we have a key item to loot, a cabin, 12 heal potions, and 2 pures. So today we are now going to focus our little adventure on the Elf Kingdom. And this is a good way to start off. We now have a couple of Kaizokus, and Kaizokus are good to fight because they carry money. Okay, and the points, these guys give me 240 gold to start. Alright, that's a little bit good. So, since we're going to be moving into areas that are going to be frequented by more poisonous enemies, we are going to need to start building up our pure potion inventory. We only have 2 pure potions, but that's clearly not going to be enough. We definitely need to have more potions than that in order to offset any major poison status effects that are going to be inflicted upon our mages here. Also, we are going to have to also start building up our gold supply to purchase level 3 spells, since those are going to be very important for the next quest. Okay, are we back on? Once again, Twitch gives me these stupid server hiccups. And honestly, this is getting really fucking old. And I don't know if anything is even going to be done about it, considering it's Twitch being Twitch, but... Anyways, if there was any footage lost, just to let you know, I've beaten a couple of pirates and have earned 360 pieces of gold from that battle, and now we're into our second encounter for today's session, which involved 4 Sahuagins. 2 of them have been beaten, so now we're going to clean up the other 2 here. I mean, Twitch really needs to get its shit together in fixing this problem, because this is getting old even for me. Alright, so we have 402 gold now from that. CAPR took quite a beating from that last fight. But in any case, what we're going to do now is we are going to pay a visit to the elves here in Elfheim, the Elven Kingdom, and see what they have to say. Save our prince! Okay, since we were told by a woman in Pravaka that the prince has been put to sleep, but we'll get some more info from the Elven community here. The prince must wake soon or the Dark Elf will dominate. Okay, so we have Dark Elves to deal with in this particular leg of the adventure. Okay, let's see what the armory has. Iron, well, we can't have our mages wear that. A copper bangle for 1,000 gold. Okay, we'll have to give them that. They can't take iron shields. Caps, they can wear. So let's just buy 3 caps for the rest of the party here. Since we need every bit of that armor boost as possible. Wooden helmet, nada. They're not. They won't be able to equip that because that's more for warriors and the like. Or the fighter in this case. Anyways, since caps give +1 to defense, absorb 2, so let's put this here. So now we've got 3, and decreases the evade by 1%, but that's not a big deal. Let's give these guys the rest. Alright, and cloth. Okay, let's just switch positions so I can read this a little bit more easier. There it is, now it's more orderly. Okay, so we've invested in a few more baseball caps for our team here. It's not much in terms of armor, but something that's better than nothing. Prince must wake soon, the power of the Dark Elf will dominate. Or the power of the Dark Elf will dominate. So the next villain that we're gonna have to face here is the Dark Elf. We kicked Garland's ass, we kicked the ass of Beaky the pirate's crew. Now we have to deal with the Dark Elf. Astos wears a disguise and lurks in seclusions. So the name of the Dark Elf is Astos here, okay. Long ago I wandered to the northwest. I found an ancient castle so spooky, I left immediately. Okay, there's an ancient castle to the northwest that we can also visit. I mean, it's spooky, but we're warriors. We have to handle its spooky shit. Okay, let's see what this elf has to say. The prince must wake soon or the Dark Elf will dominate. Yeah, this again. Let's see what we have in terms of black magic. Ooh, these are level 4 spells, and they're 4,000 apiece. Yikes. But here we have a Sleep 2, which is another sleep spell. Fast, Conf, and Ice 2. Ice 2 is dead. Ice 2, I got my sights set on that. But here's another thing. We don't have any spell charges for level 4 spells. That's going to have to come a little bit later when our guys level up a bit more. So we don't have to worry about level 4 for the time being. Swords and armors made of silver are very powerful. Okay. But that's irrelevant to us because we don't wield swords and armor. Okay, so this just loops back here. Let's go over it this way. We don't pay attention to White Magic Shop because we're black mages. Our prince was to become the king of Elfland. Okay. So that's another little tidbit to the story. This is a tomb. This is a tomb. Here lies Erdrick, 837-866. Rest in peace. Ha 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 ha! Oh, that's a cute little shot against Dragon Warrior in this case. Ah yes, back when Squaresoft and Enix were fierce rivals. Oh, how times have changed. Anyway, let's take a look at this other magic shop. So here, this is a level 3 shop. Okay, now we have level 3 spells. Here's Fire 2, which is a stronger version of the first Fire spell, Hold, Light, Lit 2, and Lock 2. Now, Fire 2 and Lit 2 are in my sights. I definitely need these 2 spells. Lock 2, I'm not too sure of. We're gonna have to consult a guide when it's time, but that'll come a little bit later. You know what? I'm gonna stop at the inn for a bit, rest up my guys. Okay, oops, accidentally went back into town. Let's go into the castle and talk to the locals here. Astos put the prince to sleep, save him. Astos put the prince to sleep, please save him. Okay, so now we have more information. Astos put the Prince of Elfland to sleep, and he needs to be saved. So Astos is the big bad here we need to deal with. Without warning, Astos attacked our castle. Our prince was laid under a curse, and our treasury ransacked. Okay. So it's a classic case of the Light Elves versus the Dark Elves. Alright, so we have our war cut out for us here. Nothing in that little grove over there. Okay, here's another elven servant. The Cave of Dwarf is at the west end of the Aldi Sea. Okay, so we did see that there was another cave out there in the northwest, so we'll pay a visit to that little spot a little bit later. It said there was a witch who has herbs. I believe that her name is Matoya. Okay, so we were told that Matoya has herbs, and it can wake their prince, so now the pieces are coming together quite nicely. For 5 years, the prince has slept under Astos' spell. Only herb can wake him. Okay, and the prince is... And apparently he appears to have sleep apnea too, but he's still able to sleep soundly anyway, even though he's been under that for 5 years. I don't know how he eats, I don't know how he drinks when he's sleeping, but... Video game logic, everybody. Video game logic. Let's see what this guy has to say. This treasure room is locked with a mystical key. Okay, so there's a treasury over here, and once again, we're denied entry because this door is locked by the mystic key. Okay. Okay, we have our info here. The Prince of Elfland, or Elfheim, depending upon how you want to put it, has been at war with with Astos and the Dark Elves for years. One day, Astos lays siege to the town and the castle, steals the treasury, puts the prince to sleep, and leaves the government in limbo for 5 long years, while he and his fellow Dark Elves run rampant throughout the land. Astos' curse can only be broken if the prince ingests the herb, which can only be prepared by Matoya the Witch. But Matoya the Witch can't do anything because she needs her crystal to see. So we need to first find the crystal before we can get the herb. So we need... Okay, so we need to find out where that frickin' crystal is. Anyways, here we have an ogre and 2 creeps. I'm now ready enough to take them on. And ogres carry money. They carry money, and I want it. Oh god. Oh god. Oh wait, no, that one missed me. Well, the ogre woke up from his deep slumber. That didn't fall him, but I still need to give him another hit. 80 points and 225 pieces of gold. Good. Okay, at least we're now finally making decent money. Okay, I'm gonna need to... Okay, so we are going to need to build up some more money for spells, but we're also going to need to start getting ourselves more potions this time around than ever before. Okay. Now, there's the Cave of Dwarfs that we need to visit, so let's go over there. Let's pay the dwarves a visit to see what they've got in store. More saw logins. Alright, fine, let's humor ourselves here. And let's also slow them down because they're agile shits. that's the end of these guys. Alright, 45 points, 180 gold. Okay, let's look around this spot for a bit. So we did see a cave earlier. 2 asps. Okay, let's freeze them up. Okay, they don't take much damage in terms of fire, but they do take much damage in terms of ice. Yeah, I don't want to play fuck around and find out. Let's just continue our attack as normal. We don't have enough charges. Let's do that. Don't like the fact there's so many poisonous snakes in this area, but that's the price you gotta pay. 30 points and 50 gold. Okay, so here's there's the land bridge over there. That's gonna be important a little bit later. Here we are in the dwarf cave. Hooray! Well, at least they're jolly. Dwarves can see in the dark. I'm sure you can, since they usually tend to mine all the time. I'm looking for the floater. I'll bet with it I could float anything. Okay, another key item. The floater. That sound? Narek is digging a canal. Oh, we got a canal digger now. The bracelet can protect you like armor. Okay, so that's something to look forward to. Look, we may be looking to purchasing that bracelet. Let's see what this guy has to say. Hooray! Yep, a jolly bunch they are. Okay, he just says the same thing. Let's see what it... Ooh, treasure chests. With the crystal, even the blind can see. Astos stole it from Matoya. Aha! The plot thickens. So Astos is the one who has the crystal. Lays siege to the elves and steals it from Matoya the Witch. So, it's official. We do need to go find this Astos chump, kick his ass, and get that crystal back. So then we can get the urban exchange, wake the prince, and also get the mystic key. Treasure box found 575G. Nice. Oh, good spoils. Treasure box found 450G. I mean, I pretty much just looted these guys right in front of them, but they don't seem to mind. Okay, 1,642G. Nice. That'll give us a lot of good stuff. The crystal even the blind can see. Also stole it from a choice. He says the same thing. Did you meet Smith, our blacksmith? No, I have not, but we'll see what he's saying. The earth is rotting slowly from the west. Okay, so that's a one key problem. The earth is rotting. That sound area is digging a canal. So that is something we're also going to have to look forward to a little bit later in the game. For the light warriors, I'll make a truly legendary sword. However, my supply of adamant is exhausted. Nothing here. No, that is just an unusable sample. Okay. So there's a couple other key items we can get. Adamant and the floater. But so we're gonna have to get ourselves our hands on those little pieces of those little items. Oh, hey, no speaking English. Okay, how are you doing? Oh, you're feeling pretty skunk-bunkled this morning. What happened, man? I mean, I'm feeling a little bit groggy myself. I had to get myself a cup of Colombian coffee. I'm hoping that's gonna pull me through for the next few hours, but we'll see. This door's locked by Mystic Key. Okay, so I can't go in there. I guess this guy's Narek. Let's take a look at this guy. Let's see what he has to say. Rock blocks construction of my canal. If I only had TNT. Okay, another key item, TNT. And this is a dead end. You want to fill me in on what's happened to you this morning, or are you just simply feeling groggy? I mean, like I said, it's kind of similar to me, but I mean, I have a lot on my plate, to be honest, for the rest of the week. There's actually a reason why I'm having to compress my streams for the rest of this week. And why this week's schedule's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I have to visit my dad this coming Thursday, because on account of the fact that I have to help him do some more shopping. I'm also, and I gotta buy my brother-in-law, or rather my sister's husband, his birthday card. Then I also have a social to get to this Saturday for my local science fiction convention. Okay, we're running into more poison, guys. Boy. Do I want to... I guess I could try this. Do I want to... I don't know. Let's slow them down. Because I know arachnids are very agile creatures. They're spiders after all. But these guys can poison, so I have to be very careful. Okay, ice doesn't seem... Okay, ice did do something to him. Okay, he's been poisoned. Okay, let's see what else I can do. Let's just go to fight. Yeah. When you only have a limited amount of charges, you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful here, and you have to fight strategically. Okay, I don't want to waste any more spell charges. If this means more of my guys have to get poisoned, then so be it. And they're still not good in terms of fighting prowess, but I guess that's to be expected when you're dealing with spiders. No, you're dealing with mages here who... Oh my god, I cannot string together a coherent sentence. I just can't understand why. Oh well, at least only one of my guys got poisoned, so I have enough pure potions to deal with. Oh, 105 points. That's not too bad, all things considered. But anyways, let's get Retro here cured up from there. Little fight. Get RPG up. Okay, who was that? Okay, VTBR and CAPR will have to take the lead here. Alright, let's head on back. Let's head on back to town, recover, and load ourselves up with a few more potions, since we have quite a good haul from that visit to the Dwarf Cave, but we cannot deal with these guys right now because our charges are too low, so we're gonna have to make a break for it. I mean, I want the money, but I need to have enough charges in order to get the money. Also, no speaking English. Oh crap, these guys again. Oh, I don't want to run from these guys. They leave behind such good money. Okay, let me see if I can. Nice. Let me just see if I can improvise. 24 damage. Oh boy. I want that sweet, sweet money. Okay. Well, at least I'm... Oh, okay, I only put one of them asleep. Okay, that's 2 out of 3 pirates asleep. Let's see how this one fares. 30 damage. Okay, that's not too bad. All my charges for level 1 and 2 are gone, so I have to go back to... Gone for VTBR and CAPR have lost all their charges. Okay, I do have just enough charges for... Okay, I've just only 2 more charges for 2 more rounds of battle. Okay, let's just do this, and... Oh, no more charges. Well, wow, this is... Okay, I have my work cut out for me here. Okay, well, at least I got rid of one of the pirates. That's cool. Okay, that's a second pirate. Okay, so this may not be too bad. Okay, that only did 7 damage, and that's ineffective. Okay. Also... another thing, since I'm visiting my dad this coming weekend starting this Thursday, I'm not going to be able to do any more streams for the duration of the week. Also, okay, 360 gold, that's cool. Anyways, and also next week I am I'm going to be attending a work seminar, and then and also subsequently a workshop at the employment agency downtown. It'll be a 4-day workshop where I'm going to be taught the ways of doing glass cutting in preparation for the new job that I'm expected to start at. It is going to be, so it's, again, 4-day workshop where I'm going to be taught the ways of glass cutting in preparation for work at the glass cutting factory. And if I get the job, I mean, that would be fantastic, but it can also affect how I'm going to be doing my streaming in the foreseeable future, because it is going to be an overnight position, so I'm going to be working from midnight to noon each day. And most likely I'm going to be sleeping during the day, and I'm only going to be up and about doing my regular business during the evening hours. So if it's going to be like a 5 to 6 day a week position, I mean, this could affect my stream significantly to the point that I'm not going to be able to be streaming as often as I want to. But it doesn't necessarily mean that RPG CAPR is going to be done as a streaming channel. That we're still going to be streaming, but my schedule will be significantly affected. If I can figure out a way to work my work schedule around my streaming schedule, then I'll let you guys know. And, of course, if you want some more details of how things are going to be going in my life for the rest of this week and next week, again, my Discord channel is always open. We can have a discussion about this. You can just click the Discord link that's below on my my Twitch channel page, and accept the terms and conditions, and we'll chat it up. Okay. Anyways, I do need to stock up on pure potions. 3, 4, because we do need these. We absolutely 100% need these now, since we're entering into poison territory. 10 heals and 5 cures. Okay. As a matter of... Okay, let's also get a few more heal potions as well. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. So, I'm just hoping that everything is going to go for the... I'm just hoping for the best at this new job. And I'm hoping that there's not going to be... I'm hoping I'll be able to be... I'm hoping the job is sustainable, the pay is sustainable, and I'll be able to help not only support myself, but also my fellow roommates as well. Okay, since we have enough money... Oh, okay, okay, these guys... Yeah, you know what? I do want to fight them because they leave behind good money. I'm gonna hold off on the ogre, and I'm just gonna deal with his creep army. Oh, snap. Oh, shit. Shit. If this happens, I have to beat feet. I don't want... Okay, hope everyone's gonna be put to sleep in this... Oh, damn it. One sleep spell did not work. And it only did 34 damage. Okay, I'm gonna heal him up. Ice. Slow. And fire. 24 damage. That didn't really do much of anything. Well, okay, it did 24 damage, but it's kind of weak sauce when you have to realize that ogres have 100 HP. Magic fire, drink, VTuber doesn't. Please don't beat on VTuber. He needs his healing potion. Oh shit. Well, that's the end of that. Man down. Run for it. I really hate it when that happens. I really wanted that victory, but I have to get... But my party does come first. And I want synchronized leveling and synchronized earnings for XP. 200 gold, oh lovely. I just love how expensive privatized healthcare gets per town. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to... You know what? I'm not going to complain too much because I can still buy something in town while I'm at it. Let's just load ourselves up with these copper bangles here. I'm going to give it to VTuber. Or wait, if RTRO is in the lead, he's going to end up taking the brunt of the hits. Okay. Okay, so absorb 3 and 56. Okay, we swap from the cloth to the copper. 3 and 56. So his... Okay. So his defense goes up by 3 points. So that's worth plus 3 to absorb or standard defense. Wait, I'm not finished. Holy shit, this game. Okay. 56, okay. And... Okay, and it also increases his evade percent by 1. Alright, so we have something to swap out our cloths with. So let's get rid of that. It's only worth 5, but you know what? A little bit of money is better than no money. Okay, so now we're going to start investing in more copper bangles so we can give our guys just a little bit more armor to work with. Because they need any armor that they can get that suits them is always good, and they need that armor. They absolutely 100% need that armor. 13 heals, 5 pures. Okay, we definitely need to stock up on some more gold. So we're gonna stock up on gold to purchase copper bangles for the remaining 3 mages. Then we're gonna focus on building up with the occasional purchase of healing and of healing spells. And healing potions and antidotes. Then we're also going to be focusing on, then afterwards we're going to be focusing on loading up our level 3 spell arsenal. Which is going to be needed in order to handle the enemy encounters from here on in. But thankfully, we're getting a little bit more money now, so it'll be easier for us to make those purchases that much more quicker. But if I can also encounter more... if I can encounter more of those Kaizokus... And we ran into a pack of wolves. Beautiful. Okay, it's getting even more imperative that we pick up some point damage spells that can multi-target enemies, rather than have point damage spells that can only target one enemy, because this is turning into a severe inconvenience. Only sleep and slow work for us in this particular case. So I'm gonna see if I can just dispatch with the pack of wolves here. And remember, okay, we destroyed the pack leader with that ice spell, that's good. Okay, let's just... No. Ice does better damage to wolves than fire. Although I don't really like to have to constantly go back to town, but unfortunately that's the price you pay when you choose to play as 4 black mages. Okay. So for today's session, I'm looking at building my mages to level 10. But we'll see how well we go. If we do very well, then I can go even past level 10. But if not, then level 10 will pretty much be the limit for today. 351. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we go through these potions very quickly. But I want to see if I can rack up a little bit more gold. Let's see if there's anything on this little peninsula over here. Okay, no, I don't want to deal with more warg wolves I'm not a fan of wolf packs. I think wolf packs are a waste of time to fight because they don't pay out very well. I want ogres, I want kaizokus. Those are the big money makers here. Okay. Asps are not, but it's one measly enemy, so I don't think it'll hurt. Oh yeah. So let's build up those copper bangles. Let's build up the money to purchase those copper bangles. Then we'll be a little bit more armored against the enemy threats. Because you know what, I would rather. Okay. Let's. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but it's too easy to sound like a broken record when you talk about which enemies you want to face that give you the best payouts. God bless it. Okay. How much does this give me? 93 points and 171 pieces of gold. Still... Okay. Well, again, beggars can... No, I think... Well, I don't know if beggars can be choosers in this case. Because, remember, random encounters are just that, random. Okay, let's... 5 pures. So I'm good, at this stage in the game, I'm good enough for buying antidotes, so let's just load up on a few more potions for the road. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, 15 heals. We're back out into the open. Okay. Oh, that's a good hit. Paralyzed, but... Okay, got myself a little victory here. 18 points, 40 G. Still more sharky sharks to deal with. How much did we earn from 1126? Okay. Do I get... Okay, I also want to stay close to town. Ogres. That's what I want to see. I want the ogres. They have the money. That's a good hit. Alright, 2 ice spells befalls an ogre. Gotta get that beautiful, beautiful money from the ogres. Alright, more ogres. First, let's put these guys to sleep. Cook up a few creeps, and let's slow them down as well. Only one sleep spell was only one enemy was affected. And it's the one that got put to sleep. Nice. That downs the creep. Wasted one charge. Well, and unfortunately that's just the reality of the game. Missed. Missed. 7 damage on that one. 20 damage on that one. Rolled a crit. Followed an ogre. 225 pieces of gold. Nice. Alright, 828. You know what? I'm just gonna make a quick stop at the inn. I'm making a decent amount of money so I can afford these 100 a night rates. Okay, alright, so I'll be right back. I just need to make a quick break, guys. Alright, let's see, 728 pieces of gold, and 15 heal, 5 heroes, okay, good. I'm off. But I want to get those copper bangles right now, so my guys would get a little bit more evasion and a little bit more armor. Oh, that's right, we got poison enemies to deal with. But arachnids do leave behind good money, so I'm a little bit on the fence here. You know what, whatever. If I have to buy more pure potions, I'll buy more pure potions, but I really want to get that sweet, sweet money. I don't know how spiders carry money, but again, video game logic. Alright. Alright, he got hit. First we're gonna freeze him, then we're gonna cook him. That's one arachnid down. That's another arachnid down. That's 2 poisoned, and that's 2 poisoned party members. Okay, experience of 105. Okay, so I do get triple figure experience and triple figure gold from these spiders, so I think it would be worth it. Just to fight them. Even though I'm gonna be going through pure potions like crazy, but them's the breaks. Oh, and another thing I just want to add is that item shops are priced at fair market value. So the price of potions do not change from town to town. So every shopkeeper has to sell the respective potions at the set rate that's given to them. Okay. Oh, there's a house for 3,000. Houses are good because they also restore magic charges, but they're expensive as hell. And soft cures petrification status. So if your guys get turned to stone by an enemy that causes petrification, you're going to need to use that potion to cure their status ailment. Okay. Okay, I don't need to go. I can actually exit out from the town in the northwest here. So I think fighting ogres and arachnids would be beneficial in terms of helping me level up my guys faster and get the money that I need. Okay, so we got a tribe of like a group of 2 ogres here. So anyways, let's just do our business. Let's just get these guys. Let's make these guys fall flat on their ass. Because ogres carry money. And I'm gonna keep on repeating this. Okay, that's a good hit. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, that did not fall, that ogre, but he should be pretty weak from that barrage of ice earlier, so it should be just a matter of just sticking it to him with a knife and make him fall, as so. 97, 390 pieces of gold. Nice. Alright, let's take a look. 1,118. Okay, we have enough to buy 1 copper bangle and rest up at the inn. Traded. Sew off this dirty old cloth. Okay, that's 2 copper bangles. Just another 2 more to go, and we should be nicely armored for this leg of our journey. Okay. Like I said, I want to stick close to the kingdom so I don't accidentally run into an encounter that I don't want. Okay, and asps are only worth 50 HP, so these guys are easy to kill. Another ogre? Nice. I need these ogres. I need their money. $268G. Hey, CAPR, how are you doing? Pro, not too bad. Well, okay, I take that back. I'm a little bit frazzled right now because I have a very tight week this week. I can only do I'm only able to do my streams only for today and Wednesday because I'm visiting my dad a little bit earlier in the week. On account of the fact that I have to buy my sister's husband his birthday card, and I'm also going to have to attend a social this Saturday at the local Legion for my local science fiction pardon me, frog in the throat, for my local science fiction convention, because I'm going to be doing some volunteer work for them in the next couple months. And also I've got a 4-day workshop next week at my employment office for an upcoming job position at a glass cutting factory. So if I were to complete the workshop next week, I'm pretty much eligible to be hired. But it will be for a graveyard shift over there. But I am going to need that money. Well, I am going to need that salary because I needed to support my roommates and myself as well, and also to help my dad, so it's very important. Even though it may end up affecting my streams in the foreseeable future, I may have to cut down on the number of streams I'm going to be doing, but that depends on my work schedule, should I get the job. Yeah, it's going to be pretty busy. So I pretty much already let the viewers know about this similarly earlier. But you know what? Until I get the job, it's gonna be business as usual around here on the RPG CAPR channel. Okay, 141 points, 200G. That's good. Let's just get CAPR here healed up. We're not in the danger zone in terms of HP. Makes sense. Life has to come first. Alas, yes, life does have to come first. But you know what? I get the job. It'll pretty much mean my financial worries will be subsided for the time being, and all I can say is, we'll see how things are going to go. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be streaming. I'm just going to have to figure out a way how to work my streams around my work schedule. And because time is like moving at a really quick pace. I find that March is moving much faster than I've ever seen before. I mean, usually 31-day months tend to be slow as molasses in January, but for me, not March. It's just, I'm busy. I guess pretty much it's not like January where there's barely anything to do in January, but March, holy crap, things are just moving at a brisk pace. Yeah, peace of mind like that is so important, because, well, here's the thing, quote-unquote. The roommates that I'm living with, they run a business themselves, which involves the selling of bath bombs and hot chocolate bombs, as well as do custom painted art boxes. It does help. I mean, their business does help pay a little bit of the finances around here, but it's not too much. I pretty much have to. I only moved in with them a few months ago, and I'm pretty much just helping balance the financial situation around the house. Well, balance the financial situation around the house effectively. But it is getting to the point where my financial situation is starting to become a concern, so I do need to get a better job, and I'm hoping for that position at the glass cutting factory. And if I get that position, then that's gonna put everything at ease. 420. You know what? I can probably load up on a few potions while I'm over here. How are things going with you? Heal 15, Pure 4. Okay, I'm gonna buy a couple more. 5, 6. You know what? That's good enough. But I do need more money in order to get those copper bangles and eventually those level 3 spells. Let's go over here for a bit. Oh yes, 2 ogres. Just what the doctor ordered. No complaints on my end. Pretty smooth week so far. Oh, cool. Any major events you want to share? Any major projects you got going for you? I mean, feel free to chime in. I mean, like I said, it's a tight week for me this week, but I'm fully prepared to go. Like I said, that's life. You gotta be fully prepared to take life head on. Okay, looks like... Okay, that's one ogre down. Now for the second one. Well, while we're pretty much on the discussion, I can probably just fill you in on what about the social I'm going to be attending this Saturday. So this Saturday, it's going to be a social called KeyCon Light. Now, KeyCon is the name of our local science fiction and literary convention here in Winnipeg. It is held every year. It's been held every year for the past 40 years. And the first one had started in 1984. Wait, meeting friends at a local brewery tonight for some fun games, including a Tekken 8. Oh, cool, Tekken 8 tournament, nice. Wait, what do I need to? You know what? I don't think I need to be back in town just about yet. I can pretty much do one more encounter. Yeah. So, anyways, best of luck to you at the Tekken 8 tournament. Hope you pull through and take top place, man. But anyways, I want to get back to the discussion regarding... Oh, he got poisoned. Anyway, get back to the discussion regarding KeyCon. So KeyCon is a retro... Well, no, it's a science fiction and literary convention that we have here in Winnipeg. It has been held annually for the past 40 years, with the only exception being COVID, but which made the COVID era conventions online only. So it was like a virtual convention those years. But now we're pretty much back in full form. We pretty much have our convention. We used to have it at a hotel downtown called the Radisson, but since the Radisson for some strange reason didn't like us anymore, now we had to switch locations to the Hilton Suites near the Winnipeg airport. Now the 40th convention, the 40th anniversary of the convention was held at the Hilton Suites last year. We got an ad break, never mind. I'll get back to it once the ads are finished. Let's darken up their vision. Okay, so we're back from the ad break? Cool. Anyways, I want to just get back to my story here. So anyways, we do have this convention taking place here in Winnipeg. It takes place every year during the May long weekend, which is called the Victoria Day long weekend. And of course, we're back at the Hilton Suites Winnipeg this year. My job at KeyCon is the procurement of amusement machines, mainly pinball machines. And I've been doing this since KeyCon 30. It is my own personal contribution to the convention at this stage in the game. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything more. I mean, there have been times when people have been wanting me to be con chair, but con chair requires a lot of public speaking, and I am not a fan of public speaking. I'm sorry, I just can't stand public speaking. I lock up, and everybody who actually talks to me in person knows that I have a tendency to jumble up my grammar and vocabulary. It's just the way I am, and I don't know if there's anything that can be done to fix it. Yeah, pinball. So I started renting the machines for the KeyCon convention back in 2013. And the first machine that I rented for that convention was Doctor Who, the Bally Doctor Who machine, which features Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor, who was front and center of that game because he was the current Doctor at the time. And so the Doctor Who machine was rented from a small company here in Winnipeg called Allied Coin. And the guy who runs the business, I mean, he's a great guy. Alright, I gotta heal up RPG here because he's getting pretty dagged on low on hit points. Let's also heal up VTuber. Yeah, so anyways, the first machine I rented for that convention was the Doctor Who Bally machine. And there was a specific reason for that. Not only did it represent my first ever contribution to KeyCon, because in all years past, before I rented machines, I was just merely a regular attendee. I mean, I paid the attendance fee for the full 3 days, and I was just taking in the atmosphere as I went along. And it's been like that since KeyCon 18, because KeyCon 18 was my very first KeyCon. That was back in the year 2001, though. And, anywho, I decided to put in my own personal contribution since I've been with the convention for a long time, and I wanted to stand out. So, anyways, I rented a Doctor Who machine from Allied Coin. It was, at the time, Doctor Who in 2013 was celebrating its 50th anniversary. Okay, I gotta get the hell out of this battle here. Just give me a moment, guys. Okay, good. So I'm out of that battle, and anyways. So it was celebrating its 50th anniversary. I also believe it was the 100th anniversary of H.P. Lovecraft as well, and... yeah, and, there was also another anniversary that was held that year. I forgot for which property. In any case, considering it was Doctor Who's 50th anniversary, I wanted to contribute something myself to commemorate the big occasion. So since other people were just dressing up in Doctor Who cosplay and had a Doctor Who themed room, I decided to rent the pinball machine for Doctor Who. And, so I put in, so one day, I mean, at the time, I was working with another company at the time. It was pretty much a customer call service center. I mean, the center is still in operation, but they've changed locations, and long story short, I'm not working with them anymore. I pretty much had to quit for personal and psychological reasons. But in any case, one day when I was still working with the company, I was given the 411 regarding events, 50th anniversary events for Doctor Who that would be taking place at KeyCon 30. And so, oh yeah, it was also the 30th anniversary of the convention that year as well. So one day, I mean, pinball just popped into my head one day. I just thought, hey, since pinball seems like a pretty interesting thing to try for at a convention, so why not give it a shot, since nobody else seems to be doing it. And I thought, okay, but I want the Doctor Who machine. Now, is there any arcade in the city that has a Doctor Who pinball machine? So, what I've done was, I checked in with the local amusement distributor in the city, being Allied Coin, of course. Let's get the... okay, so we're just gonna give another copper bangle to one of our other mages here. Okay, and, I checked the website for the company. And it turns out, and he had pretty much a listing of all the machines he had in stock. And sure enough, he had a Doctor Who machine. So I thought, okay, this is fortuitous. This may actually work. And I decided to give the guy a call. Let's take a look. Copper. Okay, only VTuber needs a copper bangle now. Okay, so we'll work towards getting it. So anyways, yeah, so I give the guy a call during my lunch break at the company I was working for at the time, and I asked him, do you allow rentals of your pinball machines? And the guy on the other end, he was a real friendly guy, by the way. A very open, just very open discussion, like willing to talk business, and just easy to talk to. So he said yes, our machines are available for rent, and I asked him, okay, is the Doctor Who machine available for rent? And he said, well, it is, but it is also out on location. I would have to go out to the location to pick it up for whatever function that you need. And it turns out, yes, the Doctor Who machine was out on location at a particular burger and fry boxcar diner restaurant down here on Henderson. And but considering the fact that it is his machine, he had the right to take the machine off location at any point he wants, which is pretty much just part of the deal which he had with the cafe. I mean, they are allowed to collect revenue on that particular machine, but the owner of the machine does have the right to remove it if he sees fit. So, and I was willing to, and pretty much, while the cafe the boxcar owner had said was collecting like quarter revenue from that machine. No, it wasn't quarter revenue. They had to refit it to collect loonies this time, because, you know, inflation and all. But anyways, he was courteous enough to let me have the machine, and it was a $300 rental at the time. So, I was willing to help pay for the machine. It was like $100 for the machine itself, plus another $200 for labor and transport. I gave the guy on the other end the full details of where the machine has to go for the convention. It was gonna have to be put in on Friday of the convention on the 11th floor in an alcove behind the stairway, because that would be the best place to put it. Of course, he would have to take the service elevator to the 11th floor and then go through the kitchen, because the hotel, the Radisson at the time, had its service elevator next, right within the kitchen for some strange reason, and then he'd have to wheel the machine right through the kitchen doors just to get it out in there. No, hang on. No, I have to backtrack that. The kitchen was on the 12th floor. There was still a loading bay on the 11th floor. So no, I take that back. It wasn't for the kitchen, it was for the loading bay on the 11th floor. Okay. My bad. Anyways, so he was able to load the machine in on that day. Pretty much on the first day of the convention. However, I wasn't on the floor at the time when the machine was being wheeled in. I was actually still in my hotel room at the time, just getting ready to come down. And apparently, all the other members of the convention were circling around that machine when I came down to meet up with the supplier with the owner and the supplier of the pinball machine. So pretty much and he didn't really want to be paid in a check or e-transfer. He wanted to be paid in cold hard cash. So I had to give him I had to give him like 3 $100 bills just to help pay for the machine. And, of course, he got it nicely set up for me, for not only for me, but also for the convention members. And it was to be set to free play, by the way, so it wasn't going to be taking any quarters or dollar coins. It was set to free play. Because, I decided to have it set to free play as a courtesy to the congoers, and to show that this is my personal contribution to the convention. Now, also, I didn't just want to leave the machine there for casual play. I wanted to run a tournament. So I decided to hold a tournament on the Saturday afternoon of the convention that year. But in order for me to run a tournament, I had to have signups. I had to have signups. I had to have prizes. I also had to have a rule sheet and everything. So of course, this was also before the machine was brought in. I had to type out a set of rules. I had to print out the set of rules. I also had to look up which prizes I can get for the convention tournament and all. Okay, so my guys are at level 8 now, so we're just getting their stats up as so. Okay, so we're doing quite well now. Let's just go rest up at the inn with our newly scored levels here. 2,453 more points to the next level, but you know what, that's fine. We're fully prepared to deal with the responsibility, because we have a lot of money we gotta raise. Okay, and so anyways, I did want to get prizes for the Doctor Who pinball machine, but I wanted to keep the prizes in theme with Doctor Who since everyone was playing the machine and all. So I had to Okay, let's see. Sounds like you've been putting in a lot of work providing entertainment for Kika. Yeah, it is a lot of work, but it pays off it paid off in spades. And I'm also going to be doing the exact same thing as well this year. Although I'm getting some more financial support in terms of the machine rentals and the tournament, since I have a lot of volunteers. But anyways, I want to touch base on that a little bit later. Okay, I don't want to waste magic on one measly asp anymore. I'm just gonna do the full fights. I'm just gonna knife this snake and then just deal with the pure potions afterwards. So anyways, getting back to the story. Well, when I was setting up the tournament for KeyCon 30 that year with the Doctor Who pinball machine, I wanted to get some Doctor Who themed prizes for the pinball tournament. So what I just pretty much decided to do was, I checked around the town for all the major comic book and hobby entertainment stores in town, because we had plenty of comic book and entertainment stores at the time. And there was one particular store. It unfortunately does not exist anymore, sadly enough, because I enjoyed it. It was called Michael Rodin's Bed, Bath, and Accessories. And that store held not only like a lot of Bed, Bath, and Accessories, but it also held Bed, Bath, and Accessories in relation to different types of retro and modern pop culture, and Doctor Who was definitely one of them. You can get a lot of accessories and toys related to Doctor Who. So I paid the guy a visit that year and asked him what he had in terms of Doctor Who merch. So, the guy who was running the store, a very awesome guy. He pretty much just showed me all the merch he had on shelves, and a lot of that merch was pretty much, let me take a look here. And a lot of it, it was like various Doctor Who related stuff. It was like Doctor Who bobbleheads, mainly, more specifically, bobbleheads for the 4th Doctor, Tom Baker. They had like TARDIS bath towels, a TARDIS bath robe, an inflatable TARDIS, a ceramic TARDIS cookie jar. What else did he have at the time that I remember picking up? Oh yeah, Sonic Screwdriver toys. For the various Doctors throughout the series. Let me take a quick look here. Oh, I want to also check everyone's. Okay, let me take a. Wait. Let's go back. Okay, so I have 5 full charges for level 1, 3 charges for level 2, 3 charges for level 3, and my first charge for level 4 spells. Cool. Anyways, yeah. So anyways, back to the story here. I was looking around his store to see what type of prizes I could get for Doctor Who. Oh yeah, and he also had a couple other things, like he had a Doctor Who 50th Anniversary Monopoly game and a Doctor Who aluminum lunchbox. I don't think that lunchbox had a thermos in it. No, I didn't have a thermos, it was just a lunchbox, but I wanted to pick that up anyway. So, during that year, I pretty much just bought a whole lot of Doctor Who swag from his store, with my work salary that I had at the time, and I nearly cleaned this guy out in terms of his Doctor Who merchandise. I must have purchased almost everything Doctor Who that he had in that store, because I was so gaga about getting Doctor Who prizes for that pinball tournament that I went hog wild with the spending at the time. So yeah, and so if I remember correctly, I did pick up the lunchbox. I did pick up the Monopoly game. I picked up the 4th Doctor bobblehead, a Sonic Screwdriver or 2. I don't think I picked up the cookie jar because I was concerned about its fragility. Let's see what else I've also picked up. I don't think I picked up the bath towel. No, I did pick up the bath towel, yeah. And, there was also a, Yeah. Oh, now I also remember what I picked up. I also picked up an ice cube tray for the TARDIS and the Daleks. So there were like ice cube tray molds that were TARDIS and Dalek shaped. Now I'm not even sure if I picked up anything else in relation to the Daleks for Doctor Who, because I believe the guy who was running that store also had an inflatable Dalek. But I didn't really want to, and I know for a fact I didn't pick up anything inflatable because I was afraid something was going to get punctured when I give. So I was afraid something was going to get punctured if I was going to give that away as a prize, and that would pretty much make the entire prize useless and all. Okay, those copper bangles are doing their job nicely, and I'm loving it. I pulled up a pic of that Bally Doctor Who pinball table. It looks really awesome. Oh yes, it's a fun machine. So anyways, it has a lot of speech by Sylvester McCoy of 7th Doctor fame. Unfortunately, I believe her name is Sophie Aldred, who played Ace in the series. She wasn't available to do any voice recordings for her character, or they just didn't have enough memory on the machine to let her have voice samples. Let me see. Sorry, I mean, there's a little bit of activity outside my door, guys. So they're just dealing with the cats and dogs right now. Okay, 45 points and 180 pieces of gold. How much money do I have? 825. Okay, and just a little bit more and I'll have 4 copper bangles. Yeah, so the Doctor Who machine is pretty fun. You also get some custom speech from Davros' voice actor as well. Let's take a look. Who is in his? So let me just see who's done. Okay. Davros' voice actor's name escapes me now. I cannot believe I just forgot his name. I see what it has. Looks like a little dog on the top of the machine. Yes, that little Dalek that's on top of the pinball machine, that was originally intended to be an animatronic. That Dalek is supposed to move left and right on top of the machine back glass, or translate. Sorry, and it's supposed to light up along with the custom Dalek speech, because there's also Dalek speech in the game as well, and they also have the classic lines like "Exterminate the Doctor" and "Alert, alert, time expander has been breached." And all that. I mean, just the same staccato, the high-pitched staccato tones you'd expect from the Daleks. It's all in that game, and the game is plenty fun if you are a Doctor Who fan. And you also get the classic the TARDIS sound effect. And now, even though the game shows the first 7 Doctors, Sylvester McCoy is the only Doctor that provides the speech. They could not get, they unfortunately could not get, Patrick Troughton and William Hartnell had already long passed at that point. And, John Pertwee was not available, Tom Baker was not available, Peter Davison was not available, Colin Baker was not available, but they did pretty much provide somewhat recognizable likenesses for the first 6 Doctors on the translator machine, while Sylvester McCoy's likeness is pretty much accurate. I'm gonna make a run for it because Retro's getting a little too low. Okay, let me get the hell out of there. Alright. Yeah, and originally, the Dalek on top of the machine was supposed to be an animatronic that moves left to right and lights up with the custom with every spoken piece of dialogue from the machine. But apparently, Bally did not have the funds to pretty much create a proper motor for the Dalek head. However, the blueprints for a potential motorized mechanical head are still out there. So custom So the Dalek head can be customized to move for for those who are in possession of an actual Bally Doctor Who machine and who have the mechanical know-how to make the Dalek head move. In any case, yeah, so... Now, the only motorized mechanic that is consistent across all Bally Doctor Who machines is the Time Expander elevator that's located in the back of the machine. Now, that is supposed to be a 3-level machine. It's supposed to be there to... It's supposed to be there to represent 3 different levels of 3 different levels of ball targets. So you have like the first level, which is supposed to be 2 ball lock, which serve as 2 ball locks, which are supposed to also represent the Doctor and Ace. The second level just represents 3 scoops where you have to shoot the ball past a few target Dalek panels. And the third level, oh no, hang on here a minute, I think... As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if there is a third level. I think it's just 2 levels with a target, with a panel target wall that rises up to symbolize the fight against Davros and the Daleks themselves. Yeah, because I know that once you defeat all the Daleks, you have to face Davros in a final confrontation in order to defeat him and break the Time Expander and restore the balance for time and space. That's pretty much the objective of the game. And if you defeat Davros, you get like a Davros jackpot. And if you're really good at the game, you can get a triple Davros jackpot. And, let's just take a look here. So, but it's not just about fighting the Daleks and destroying and defeating Davros, the Master, and the Time Expander. Now, the Master is in the game, but they couldn't get any of the actors to provide voice samples for the game. But the Master that's pictured in the game is that of Roger Delgado's Master, who was the first Master to appear in this series. Also, let's take a look. Now, there is only one supposed quote-unquote voice sample for the Master in the Bally Doctor Who machine, but all the Master does is he laughs. He just laughs quietly, and that's when your ball goes into the outlane. And you get something called a Master's bonus that gets added to your ball and that gets accumulated to your ball and end of ball total when your ball goes into the outlane of the game. And pretty much all it really has is the Master laughing. I'm not sure who does the laughing portion, but it's clearly not Roger Delgado, because Roger Delgado had long passed away when that game was released onto the market. Let's see. Okay, there's also a loop mode where you can also do what is called a sonic boom mode, where you pretty much get into this where you just pretty much just get into this little aircraft, and if you can actually run loops and then spell out WHO, and then you can pretty much create sonic boom bonuses, which pretty much add to your score total. And professional pinball players will pretty much try to loop this around and around and around, just so they can pretty much build their score up into the 100 millions. Okay, anyways, we got our final copper bangle, so let's give this to VTuber and seal off that dirty old cloth and get out of this and just clear up our inventory. Okay, so everyone now has a copper bangle, so we are now well armored for this leg of the game. So then the only other thing to do now is build up build up our potion arsenal a little bit more for both heals and cures, and also get some level 3 spells going, because we want it, because as soon as we procure those level 3 spells, the fights are going to get a whole lot more easier. A whole lot more easier. And now we have 3 full charges for level 3 spells, and we need to start getting those level 3 spells, but it is 1,500 apiece for a spell book. So we gotta start getting that money. We gotta start breaking in that money. So yeah. So, and other things for the Doctor Who. Oh yeah, there is, so the Doctor Who machine itself also has like several different bonus features. Like, depending upon your starting Doctor, it provides special effects. Such as, you can pretty much reduce the amount of panel hits in order to destroy the time expander, and other Doctors provide 2 times bonus. You also have a greater chance of winning an extra ball. But it's been a while since I last played that Doctor Who machine, so some details are very fuzzy to me right now. But I'm just going as best as I can from the top of my memory here. It has, because 2013 was quite a long time ago now. Let's take a look. Okay, so yeah, you know what? Let me just get back to my regular story at KeyCon. So at KeyCon 30, I did have the pinball tournament on Saturday. I believe it was around 2:00 p.m. I don't remember the exact time the start of the tournament, but it was. But that's how it was. I got a few volunteers for the tournament. I had to get somebody to record the video of gameplay, so everyone has a proper, so that the score can be viewed upon, so people can view the score through recorded video footage. So in case there's a bit of a dispute over what the final score is, we have recorded video footage, so to account for any final score tabulations and to determine who gets which spot on the leaderboard, because I bought a lot of prizes from Michael Roditz, and I think I also bought a few consolation prizes. Oh yeah, there was definitely some consolation prizes I also got for people who did not make the top 5. One of them, a few of them were Doctor Who pens and pencils, and some eraser tops too. So that's another thing. So I held the tournament on this Saturday, roughly around 2 p.m. And I had to go for an hour. I had I think there might have been 11 or 12 signups for that day. I'm not 100% certain, because I don't have the original sheets anymore, because the original sign-up sheets have been shredded just to protect, for privacy reasons, because there are people who put their full names down on those sheets, and I don't want those getting out into the open. I didn't want those getting out in the open, mind you. Let's see. So yeah, we held a tournament. It ran for roughly an hour. We didn't have any major pinball experts on that day, because everyone just played the game casually, and they pretty much just drained all 3 of their balls roughly within 10 to 15 minutes. The gameplay was like 10 to 15 minutes a person. And we managed to get through the tournament just fine. And the person that came in first was this one kid. He did surprisingly well by netting a full 76 million points on that machine. He did a pretty damn good job on that machine. I think he may have been playing the game for roughly 10 or 12 minutes, but he made some pretty good shots on that machine. Okay, I don't want to deal with wolves. Wolves do not pay very well. Okay, so at least the copper bangles are doing their job now. I'm not taking as much damage as I used to be, and I'm getting a little bit more evasive with the enemies here. Bro and Pro, are you still here? I'm not sure if you are, because it's been a while since your last post. But you know what? If you left, that's fine. I don't hold it against anyone who chooses to leave abruptly. That's Twitch. That's streaming. That's everything. Let's take those 757. Okay, I do want to raise up some money to buy my first spell. Let's see if we can get some Kaizokus. No, we do not get Kaizokus. I want Kaizokus because they got the money. Okay, the copper bangles do not defend against status effects. If you want an item that defends against all status effects, that's what ribbons are for, but ribbons come much later in the game. Let's see how we do here. Okay, we'll hit it. Rolled a natural 20 on that odd eye. Okay, let's get rid of these guys and slow them down. So in any case, yeah. So the kid did place first with roughly 70 million points. I think it might have been 76 million, but I'm not 100% certain now because it's been a long time. But he placed first, so at the end of the tournament, I had to contact all the leaderboard winners and have them to come up to the hotel room where the prizes were being stored, and I had to give them their choice of a Doctor Who prize. Now I remember that the kid chose the Monopoly game. He wanted the Monopoly game, then all the other prizes. So that was the first choice. The guy who played the kid. No, it wasn't the kid. The other guy who played second, he took the lunchbox. That I remember. The third place winner took the bath towel, and the fourth place winner took the ice cube molds. Fifth place winner, I have no idea. I think they took the sonic screwdriver, if I remember correctly. And all the other runner-ups just pretty much got their pens and pencils and eraser tops, and any remaining major prizes got carried over into next year. And so I did rent the Doctor Who machine for KeyCon 31. I wanted to rent 3 machines this time, but unfortunately, I didn't have the budget at the time to get 3 machines, so I just had to settle for getting the Doctor Who machine for the second year in a row. And Doctor Who was a lot more popular in its second year at the convention than it was at the first. Now, don't get me wrong; it was very popular in its first year at the convention, but it really shot up in popularity in its second year because people were really enjoying it. So that's pretty much the story, and I've been renting machines for the convention ever since. And this year is not gonna. It will not be it will be no exception. But I have more funding support this time from the community than ever before. So I'm not too worried about having my finances being drained significantly for the rental of the machines. Now, long story short, I'm not. Even though Allied Coin is still in business, I'm not really renting from that place anymore because the guy who does rent the machines, I mean, again, he's a good man and everything, but he does have a tendency now, he is pretty much there in age, and he can't come out as often as he used to. So I had to switch providers as a result, because of the fact that you do have to step up your game and everything. But my local arcade here is called Phantom Amusement, and the guys who run that arcade do rent out their machines for special events. So I've been renting out machines from them since 2019. No, hold on. I actually take that back. It was not 2019. Let's see, 2024, 23. No, it was 2022 that I was doing that. Okay, yeah, because I have to remember, I've been doing this stuff like year in and year out with the exception of COVID. Okay, let's put these guys to sleep and let's light the rest of these Sahalagans up. Okay, these odd eyes are really starting to piss me off, but unfortunately, it is turn-based battle, and you never know who's gonna have a churn. So Pro and Pro, if you're still here, just pretty much let me know what else you'd like to know, because I've got stories from my time at the KeyCon convention, and oh boy, howdy do I have stories. But anyways, let's just get back into the game here in question. So we've already got all the weapons and the armor that we need for the time being, but we now need to seriously start building up our level 3 magic arsenal, because we are going into even more dangerous territory than before. Okay, this odd eye needs to go. Slippery little bugger, ain't he? And is everyone just getting stunned here? Thankfully, all this creature can do is paralyze. It cannot physically fight. Okay, let me take a look. 1,127. We need 1,500 gold in order to buy our first magic spell. And if I can run into some Kaizokus, that would be fantastic. Okay, I don't want to deal with Sahuagins because I want some better payouts here. Okay. Well, one Kaizoku's better than no Kaizoku, so let's get on with it. $15 points, 120 gold. Well, you know what? This is probably going to take a while, so I might as well bring up another story from my time at KeyCon. Well, let's see what I can talk about in terms of pinball. Well, in terms of pinball, KeyCon 31 wasn't really all that much different in terms of preparation for pinball than like it was for KeyCon 30. It was pretty much the exact same thing. I still went back to the exact same store that year as I've done for the first year of pinball. So it was like, again, go back to Michael Rodent's, talk to him to see what other new Doctor Who stuff he had, and see what I can get. Oh, and there is another thing I wanted to add. Remember, like I said, I nearly cleaned the guy out that year in terms of his Doctor Who supply. If I remember correctly, by the time I had finished all my shopping for Doctor Who merch in his store, the only thing he had left were an inflatable Dalek and an inflatable TARDIS, and a 10th Doctor replica jacket, as well as a few miniature Doctor Who figurines. I think that's all he had left by the time I was done purchasing from him. And that is absolutely, I still think it's absolutely wild that I was able to do that year. But in any case, you know what? It was I considered a pretty good memory in all things considered. Hang on. I'm just going to use another heal potion here. I don't really want to have to make use of heals, but I do want to get my first level 3 magic spell. Yeah, so KeyCon 31 was pretty much the year where the pinball really started picking up speed. And there is also an old Facebook photo online from KeyCon showing 3 different Doctor Who cosplayers surrounding the machine. And it's a pretty interesting little picture. And for the pinball tournament that year in 2014 for KeyCon 31, I pretty much I fronted the prizes that were still carried over from last year. I don't think anyone took the 4th Doctor bobblehead, if I remember correctly, so I had to carry it over for KeyCon 31. Plus I got like some other Doctor Who, and again, it was all Doctor Who themed, so I managed to get some more Doctor Who figures, some more sonic screwdrivers. I think I also... No, I did not pick up this ceramic TARDIS cookie jar, because again, fragility concerns. Anyways, okay, here I am in the black magic shop, so let's see what we can get. Fire 2, hold, lit 2, and lock 2. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up a guide to see what these spells specifically do. Final Fantasy Guide. So just give me a quick moment here. Black magic. Go to level 3 black magic. Okay, so I have the screen up, so let's just bring up the page. Alright, so let's see what we have here in terms of black magic. So level 3 magic. Okay, so Fire or Fire 2 costs 15 magic points to use, targets all enemies, so it's a multi-target spell, causes moderate fire damage to all enemies. It doesn't specify how much moderate damage, but if I'm gonna, I may have to go to the game facts guide, but I'm going to presume it means like 60 to 120 points of damage or even more across each party member, but the Nintendo Entertainment System being the Nintendo Entertainment System may not register the damage calculation correctly, so you don't want to quote me on that. Thundara Lit 2. Cause model electric damage, so same point damage across multi-targets. Okay, hold. 10 points to use, targets 1 enemy, binds 1 enemy, disabling attacks. So hold is a paralysis spell against 1 enemy. I mean, I guess it's worthwhile to use against ogres, but you know what? Status effect spells for your party members are notoriously bugged, so I'm a little bit reluctant to get this spell. And there's Lock 2, which is 10 magic points. Okay, I shouldn't be looking at the magic point cost because we're using spell charges, so it has to be, each spell use requires 1 spell charge to use. Okay. Anyways, Volcara, or Lock 2, focuses on all enemies, so it's multi-target, decreases all enemies' evasion rate. Okay, if it decreases the enemy invasion, that may actually be worthwhile to help my mages physically attack the enemy. But you know what, let me just get out of here again and purchase 1 fire spell. I'm gonna go with the Fire 2 spell. I really want this spell. So CAPR is equipped with the Fire 2 spell. And okay, so I'm just going to now rest up at the inn after acquisition. Okay, and again, I'm gonna be right back. I need to make another quick break. Alright, back we go. Alright, let's take a look. So, we got our first Fire 2 spell. Okay, and we're all rested up. Welcome back. Ah, thanks. I'm glad to see you're still here, Pro and Pro. Okay, so we got a Fire 2 spell. So this is fortuitous. Now I can multi-target enemies. So we're gonna give this a field run. A field test run, that is. Whatever, sleep. Let's slow down our progress and cook a few goose. Cook a few geese, that is. Oh my goodness. Alright, so let's see. Alright, let's see how this works. Whoa, yes! Now that's power. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Now we're cooking with gas here. Now we're definitely cooking with gas. Okay, 1,452 more points to the next level. Okay, now I definitely need to stock up on this spell because this is paying off in spades. Okay, I'll deal with arachnids because they carry at least a decent amount of money. Sleep, slow, and nice. Whatever. Okay, so while we're waiting for this to play out, let me just see what else I can talk about in terms of. Well, I guess I can move on with the pinball talk. Okay, I'm really loving the Fire 2 spell here, man, and I'm really. Okay, there's another this in here. 442. Okay, I don't need to waste a Fire 2 on one measly snake, so let's just use regular fire. Pretty resilient against 3 regular fire spells. Took 4 fire uses just to completely kill 1 asp. Also, yeah. Well, also, if I want to get back to my pinball story here, at KeyCon 31, I would say that I don't even remember who won what that year. I did get another Doctor Who 50th Anniversary Monopoly game that year. And the first place winner of that tournament that year also took the Doctor Who Monopoly game as their first choice of prize. Let's see, what else is there? Because I also remember, because I clearly remember not getting the ceramic TARDIS cookie jar, because, like, again, for agility concerns, I didn't want to risk breaking that cookie jar, because otherwise it wouldn't be good as a prize anymore. What else did I actually get? I did remember picking up some more figurines, and I also got some more Sonic Screwdriver toys and all that. I believe they had plenty of 5th Doctor Sonic Screwdrivers at the time. Okay, I've got to really watch what's going on over here, because these guys are not fucking around. Okay. You know what, I'll make one more use of Fire 2 in this case. You were to add a game redeem option to this channel, how many points do you think it would set it at? Okay, for a game redeem, that means when somebody redeems older points, that particular RPG will be played on this channel. That's correct? I'm just because I think that's what you're pretty much what you're going for here, speaking English. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me see what I can think of. Okay. So right now I do have you down for Tales of Eternia or Tales of Destiny 2. So yeah, it is on the list. Make no mistake about it. I do have your game request on the list. So. Again, I'm going to be finishing my initial portfolio of quick churn over RPGs like Final Fantasy and Zelda 2 here, because I want to have an initial portfolio to show the masses what I can do. But the first game request will be Tales of Eternia for PSP. So I already have you down for that. And if anyone wants to make any further game requests, yes, they can pretty much provide a point redemption. Now I'm gonna have to see what kind of points I would have to set it at. Okay, I guess it would have to depend upon the length of the RPG in question. But I will have to say that the smaller point values for short RPGs, a mid-level set of points for like mid-length RPGs, and longer RPGs that could probably take me like several months to complete, I would have to set it at a higher point value. But I have to determine what would be a good set amount for redemption for each of these 3 categories. So again, RPG CAPR, this channel is still a work in progress. So we're gonna have to be making. I am gonna have to just brainstorm this with several other of my community members, even probably with Sarzak as well, just to see what would be a good. Oh wait, I can actually use Fire 2 in this case, so I want to give this a test run, and just determine what would be a good point redemption for a particular RPG. But so okay, for the record, Tales of Eternia is the exception to the rule because you're the first requested RPG on my channel. No speaking English. So yeah, that is something I'm gonna have to brainstorm right now. So I don't have a set answer for this question that you provided for me, but I definitely am gonna take this into consideration. So we're gonna see, like I said, small amount of point redemptions for short RPGs, medium amount of points for medium length RPGs, and longer length RPGs is gonna have to be like longer. More higher point redemptions. So again, I'll have to see what would be a good set amount of values in terms of that. So yeah. So I'm also gonna have to do a little offline casual test play of Tales of Eternia to see how the game plays out on my end, because I also have a new PC controller that I'm gonna be using for RPGs like this. It's still in its package. It hasn't even been opened yet as of this stream. So we're gonna see how it's gonna play out. So anyone who's been on my Discord channel, you've seen my regular list of starting RPGs that I'm playing right now. I'm playing now. Again, I am sounding like a broken record here, but I'm starting with these smaller 8-bit RPGs because they're short. They're more easier to cap than others, but they do offer higher turnover. So with high turnover RPGs means I can switch from one game to the next with every three or 4 streams, or in a case in a turn-based RPG, every 8 to 10 streams, give or take. So Final Fantasy 1 here is also not a very long RPG. It starts off slow and arduous, but the pace does pick up significantly once you get your hands on the more effective equipment or spells, and you do your major class change. As soon as these black mages turn into black wizards later on in the game, the pace of this game accelerates at a rocket speed. So yeah, so right now it is pretty slow and arduous, and I do apologize for that, but that's pretty much the game for you. But yeah, but once I class change, I mean, the game is gonna move at such a brisk pace, you won't believe your eyes. But in any case, we do have to just play the game strategically with 4 black mages, since they're still in their weak, squishy phase at this point in the game, and they're only just starting to just get their better equipment, or rather their better spells in this case, as you can see here. So yeah, sorry guys, it's an ad break right now. Let's take a look. 1,400. Okay, I only need 33. I need 34 pieces of gold and I can go buy my next fire spell. And then we're really gonna start whooping ass and taking names. You know what? I think this is good enough. And I get a preemptive strike against the snakes. Cool. Okay, the ads are done. Good. So let's get back into the discussion here. So yeah, so once the initial list of quick turnover RPGs are at an end, we're gonna start taking requests. So the first request again was from No Speak English OK for Tales of Eternia for the PSP. So I'm gonna be looking at working on that game, and then after that, any other further requests will be done through a point redemption system. So Tales of Eternia is on me. No Speak English. I do have you on board for that. Okay, 1566. So I'm not gonna bother with this. I don't even know why I went this way when I should be going to the Black Magic store in order to pick up some Black Magic. Okay. So, but I definitely want another fire spell, another fire or fire 2, as however this game wants to say. Okay, our CAPR has that. Lit 2 would be good to have. Okay, but I do want. You know what? Let's just do another fire 2 spell, and then we're gonna go to Lit 2 afterwards. Oh yeah, and how much do I need to the next level? 827 more points. Okay, so it's not too far till level 9. Now the idea is to get to level 10 before we're gonna call session for today. But I think by the time that happens, my guys should be packing some serious heat. Pardon the pun. Pro on Pro, if you're still here, do you have an idea of what type of an RPG you would like to see played on this channel? Okay, let's take a look here. Do I need to get any more in the Hill 9 Pure 3? Okay, you know what? I'm still okay for potions. I don't want to really go up in there. Let me see what else I can do. I'm hoping to get some more ogres, because as soon as I also get Lit 2 or Fundara, then I can go back under the open seas and start whooping some Sci-Hag ass. 1,500 cheers. Speaking English? You're a rock star, man. Thank you so much for this. Oh my god, thank you very much for this, man. Okay, now, here's what I'm actually going to propose. Okay, I'm going to be looking at Tales of Eternia as an action. I would say that Tales of Eternia could classify as an action RPG, because you have to execute certain button commands in order to pull off moves against your enemies. Because, let me see what because you know what, and so I'm just thinking about this very much. Snow Speak English again, you're a rock star for doing this. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. And make no mistake about it, we are going to be tackling Tales of Eternia on this channel, and yeah, and we're gonna see how this goes. But you know what? Like I said, I want to go through the initial portfolio of quick turnover RPGs as fast as possible, so we can get started on the requests here. Because I do want to have a good initial portfolio to show the masses what RPG CAPR can do on this channel here. And like I said, don't worry about it. These RPGs really do not take long, and let's take a look to see how much I already have done. Because the only turn-based RPGs that I've actually looked upon for my initial portfolio are the following. It was Dragon Warrior 1, which has been since completed as of this stream, and Final Fantasy 1, which we are working on right now. Other turn-based RPGs that we're going to be focusing on before we get to requests will be Phantasy Star 1 for the Sega Master System. We are also going to be focusing on Final Fantasy Mystic Quest and Final Fantasy II, which is Final Fantasy IV US for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Then, After that, then we're going to be churning. So those will be the churn-based RPGs that we have lined up on this channel. Let's take another quick look. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link is also set to be finished pretty soon, but I may even do the new game, the second quest, as part of New Game Plus, which I would pretty much say is New Game Plus, but we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to be doing Zelda 2 again tomorrow. Just I'll finish up the first quest to see, and also see if there is a New Game Plus mode as well to add to the experience. Now, Zelda 2 also is not a long game to complete. I mean, a professional player can have the game cleared in a day. A day. Okay, I don't have to worry about recovering at the end just about yet. Okay, we have a pack of wolves, so we're gonna do it like this. Sleep. Okay, sleep, and you know what, fire 2 again. I'm just gonna keep doing this until all the charges are gone. And honestly, for everyone who supports this channel, you're all rock stars. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much. And honestly, and I also have to keep reminding everybody that whenever games like this are played, is that capping levels in role-playing games is a discipline. It's not something that people with little patience should be undertaking. It is an acquired discipline that you would have to be willing to burden upon yourself if you want it. Like if you want to show anything, if you pretty much just want to show anything to the masses. So I'm not sure how many other people out there who play retro RPGs would have the discipline to go all the way to the top. But since I haven't seen anybody else who's willing to undertake this task, I decided to bring it upon myself to rise up to the occasion and show to the masses that capping an RPG is realistically possible, provided that the game is programmed to have a set limit in terms of how high you can raise your level. For something like Simon's Quest, it could be like up to level 6. For something like Dragon Warrior, it'll be up to level 30. And for Final Fantasy here, it is up to level 50. Now, this is only for the NES version. I mean, other remakes to this game set the level to 99, which, now the level 99 cap started with Final Fantasy III for the Famicom in Japan. And Final Fantasy II, the real Final Fantasy II, mind you, that one's a little weird. You do not have a general leveling system for that game. Everything is set to specific skill levels. And now the skill levels can be for your weapons, your shield, or your magic spells, which can be black or white magic spells. And every skill level has its own leveling system. And every level, and every skill level will go up to a maximum of 16. So level 16 is the cap for each skill level in Final Fantasy II. That also goes double for your magic defense skill as well. And there is also another skill that also escapes my mind right now, but yeah, but in any case, level capping in Final Fantasy II for the Famicom and other remakes is levels. It just goes up to 16. It doesn't go past that. If you were to try to level up your skill level past 16, it just resets the experience counter back to 0. You can't go any higher past 16. 16 represents mastery of the skill. Let me just take out this asp. Okay, so fighting enemies is getting a little bit more easier now, but I still want to get up another level. So we can have more magic charges and a greater opportunity to defeat more groups of enemies and rack up that gold, so we can get more spells so we can get more spells within a set amount of time. Okay. Okay, let's take out this ogre here. Okay, that's a wasted spell charge. But I think I'm a little bit more confident to fight with my weapons this time than ever before. 8 damage. So my guys are missing less and less. That's a good sign. So if they can strike their targets more often, I wouldn't even need to have them cast mer magic spells very often, to the point that I would have to waste spell charges and have to constantly go back to town again and again and again in order to restore those charges. Okay, let's just do it like this, because ogres carry money and I do not turn down a fight against an ogre. Also, I've also learned that April Fool's Day is coming up. Now, I'm just deciding what would be a good April Fool's joke for RPG CAPR. Now, I have an idea of what to do, but, I'm not sure how well I'm gonna pull it off. I mean, we'd have to see. Okay, let's just get him healed up, because I do not... Okay, we're almost at 1500, so I can buy another fire spell, and I want that fire spell. I want... more test subjects for my fire spell. Line them up, baby. So again, April Fool's Day is going to fall on a Tuesday this year. So I have an idea of what I will pretty much do for April Fools, but what it is, you're going to all see. You're all going to have to see it for yourselves. Okay, so that should be enough for me to buy another spell. So let's get back into town and load up those level 3. Give fire... Okay, purchased another fire spell, this time for VTBR. Okay. We're cooking with gas, people. I would say it could be a waste of a spell charge, but whatever, I just want this done. And I'm pretty much on the verge of getting to level 9 anyway. Speak of the devil. Okay, good. So now our guys are at level 9. Let's rest up in the inn from our hard day's efforts. Okay, now let's take a look to see how much we need. 3,155 points for the next level. Okay, so once we get to level 10, we're gonna call session for the day, and I'm hopefully that by that point, my guys will be fully stocked with their respective level 3 spells, and I can go out and kick ass with absolute ease. We gotta build up that money. We really need to start building up that money. Now we're pretty much winning our battles in one round. That's what I want to see. I want to see the one-round victories. More of these one-round victories means the faster we get our payouts, faster we get our money. Ah, cook him like a goose. Okay, let's just focus on ice for the remainder of this battle. $96 points, 240 pieces of gold. Alright, let's take a look. 538. I'm gonna get out of this. I'm most likely gonna have to go... I'm gonna have to go buy some more potions, because we're running low on potions. But I just want... I'm just so itching... I'm just itching for another... No, hang on. I don't want to deal with these wolves. These wolves do not pay out very well. Thing is, like, only, like... So let's... I want the ogres. The ogres are the ones that have the money. If I remember correctly, there's supposed to be some more... There's supposed to be a green ogre around here. Okay. Well, the arachnids had their fun, so it's time to cook a few spiders. Slow them down. Put them to sleep. And put them on fire, too. And it's a good thing my guys have high evade, so they will be able to... I mean, they cannot completely avoid status effects, but the high evade should at least reduce the chances of them being hit for poison status. And that's the end of this. 105 points, 150 gold. Let's keep the momentum going. We need to get to level 10, and we also need to make sure that we have enough money to fill up everyone's spell arsenal with fire/fire spells. Okay, so we can't do anything over here, so I'm gonna fire to him, slow him down, and use dark. Now, even though ogres are susceptible to ice, they'll still take significant fire damage with the use of the fire 2 spell. I just wanted to disable them, then cook them. Asleep. Ineffective. Okay. Now it's time for VTuber's turn to cook up these ogres. Okay, so they did do some significant damage on that one, so I'm gonna switch over to ice for the time being. Okay, so now we'll have to see what else can be done. So yeah. I also just want to reiterate the fact that I am looking forward to this Saturday's social with my KeyCon committee members, and see what I can actually discuss with them in terms of pinball rentals. Okay, speaking of pinball rentals for this year, one machine I am absolutely wanting to gun for, that my local arcade distributor has, is Dungeons & Dragons: The Tyrant's Eye. Now, if you don't know what Dungeons & Dragons: The Tyrant's Eye is, it's a new pinball game put out by Stern Pinball that is centered around the world of Dungeons & Dragons. It's something I seriously want to get for KeyCon for this year. However, since it's a brand spanking new machine, I'm expecting that thing to go into the 4 figures in terms of rental. However, I do have my fellow members of the KeyCon, like I said, of the KeyCon committee members who all would be willing to provide me with some financial assistance to rent a machine. However, I'm not sure how much it's going to be because I know at the end of the day the vast majority of the rentals are going to come out of my pocket. But considering the fact that this is going to be a rental that everyone really wants to see at the convention, I'm just going to be willing to make the investment here and just see how it goes. So, but here's the thing. It may not even be possible for me to get the machine because it is possible that someone else might be able to rent it out for the May long weekend, and of course, it also falls down to what pinball machine wins at the polls this year because I always subject the pinball to an annual poll on Facebook to determine which machines do people want to see at the convention. So last year at KeyCon 40, which represented the 40th anniversary of the convention, I had rented 4 machines. And the 4 machines were Jaws, the Pro model, by the way, Deadpool Premium model, Star Trek, I'm not sure if it was Pro or Premium, and the Mandalorian Premium model. Now, Mandalorian is quite popular. It's a tough machine to play, but man, is it popular. I'm not sure if Mando is coming back this year. We'll have to see. But again, it all boils down to the poll results from on the KeyCon Facebook page. So again, we'll see how it goes. And so like I said, some of the committee members are willing to provide financial support. But if we fall short, I'm just gonna have to front the difference. I mean, I still have enough to do the rentals for this year, even if there is no financial support. But come next year, I'm not 100% certain if I will have the finances needed to do the pinball rentals because, I mean, I'm pretty much living with roommates now, and we do have to worry about. I do have to worry about paying my rent. Plus, I also have to provide some additional. I also have to pay for some additional expenses around here. But you know what? If I were to land that job at the glass cutting company, that could definitely help. That could pretty much just help offset any financial issues that I'm gonna have for household related responsibilities. But the only exception that I do make to the rule is to rent the pinball machines for KeyCon because it has become an annual tradition, right? And a lot of people say that KeyCon isn't KeyCon without the pinball machines. So, and I agree. Okay, so we're doing fantastically here against ogres and creeps with our fire spells. And we are just raking in the points, we're raking in the money. I have enough money to buy another fire spell. We're now 2,442 more points away from the next level up. So I'm thinking about it should be roughly 24 to 25 more fights to go before I level up. Okay, let's see who needs the fire. Okay, RTRO does not have his Fire 2 spell, so we'll have to give that to him. Okay, that's done. Let's rest up at the inn for a bit. Okay, that's done. So now we're raring to go. Let's take a look at what we need now. So 298. Okay, everyone now has a Fire 2 spell in their arsenal. So now what we gotta do now is focus on getting Lit 2 or Fundara in our arsenal. So that way it'll be easier for us to take on seafaring monsters than ever before. So we got 4 Guts. So these guys have a much stronger paralysis spell than others. So we are definitely gonna have to be on our guard when we do something like this. I'm gonna put in all the major status effects and have RPG just cook them like turkeys. $117 points, 468 gold. Beautiful. So Geist also leave behind good money. But they are pretty darn dangerous because they can paralyze too. Fire 2. Let's do ice as an offset and sleep. Okay, so that was a little bit on the weak side, but let's see how things go in terms of ice. Okay, so this wasn't enough to fall these two ogres, but at some point I do want to face off against an ogre chief or a green ogre, because that means even more money. Okay, one ogre is down. One ogre hits CAPR for 14, but I'm not too worried because everyone has their copper bangles. Two hits for 8. Okay, I don't want to waste any more magic because I think this guy's been weakened enough. Hits for 19, a little bit better, but not too much. 97 points, 390 pieces of gold. Okay, how much money do we have? 1,156. We are raking in the moolah. We are raking in the moolah. Werewolves. So werewolves, I've encountered these guys once before, but I didn't have time to discuss this encounter because I was busy talking about KeyCon. But in any case, yes, werewolves do poison effects. So, I'm gonna do sleep on the enemies here. I'm gonna cast ice. I'm just also gonna cast regular fire on the imps here. Now, werewolves do become a little bit more common of an encounter in the next dungeon that we're going to go to. We're not ready to tackle the next dungeon of the game, because that dungeon will eat me alive without proper prep work. This isn't like the Temple of Fiends, where you can just explore around. Okay, the Temple of Fiends is also a little dangerous in of itself, but nothing like the next dungeon that we're going to be going to next session. And we are going to save the next dungeon for next session, because we have to build up our guys significantly here in terms of their magic arsenal and potion arsenal. And we may also have to stock up on a few cabins and tents along the way too. 2186. Okay, so 2,186 more points to go. One measly arachnid. Okay, these little spiders do carry money, so I'll humor them. 44 damage, not a bad starting hit. Uh, 50 pieces of gold. Okay, I think that's somewhat acceptable for, like, one measly arachnid, but whatever. Okay. But I want a little bit more in terms of payouts here. Missed. I'm not going to use Fire 2 against one ogre. That would be a waste of a charge. Let's just focus on the Ice spell. And Ice 2 is not for a while, so we're just going to have to... So let's just focus on what we have right now. $48 points, 195 pieces of gold. Nice. Okay, Fire 2. Alright, let's get these guys out of the way. So remember, when we get to level 10, we're gonna call session for today. Yes, they're whooping my ass good. But I got the better firepower, so to speak. We need these, we need one-round victories. That's how we move fast through the game. Ah, monster strike first. Oh, and they're... Okay, so we got jumped by a pack of wolves. Okay, sweep. Fire 2. Well, you know what? Whatever, I'll do another Fire 2 and slow. Okay, the wargs have been effective. Only all but one wolf has been affected by the slow spell. Okay, now to cook up a few wolves. Points, 122 pieces of gold. Okay, so we're good for another spell. Let's go back and load ourselves up with the next spell book. Okay, so RPG is now going to get lit too. So we now have our first multi-targeting lightning spell. So now we can go back onto the open ocean and fight sea monsters again with a little bit more ease. So now the Sahuagins aren't going to be that much of a pain in the ass as they were before. Okay, one shark. I'm not wasting lit 2 on one measly shark. Yep, 4 uses of one lightning spell just to take down one shark, but you know what, I'm not too worried. What I really want is a 5-man band of Kaizokus. If I can face them, it's 600 pieces of gold instantly. Alright, this is a good way for me to test out my new lightning spell. I'm gonna use slow as well, gonna use dark, and put them to sleep. Alright, let's cook up some sea monsters. Look at that beautiful damage. One by one, they fall. $45 points, 180 pieces of gold. Nice. So we're gonna load ourselves up with the fire. We've already loaded up the fire spell. Now I want to just get all the lightning spells. Now put into each of my mage's arsenals. Oh, the convenience. The convenience. Okay, not much in terms of XP payout, but at least we're getting some decent money out of this. As long as I'm making triple figure gold payouts, I'm cool. You know, whatever. Sometimes you're not always gonna get the encounter you want. Okay, so yeah, so the XP payouts aren't as good as the gold payouts, but I do need gold. I do need gold, make no mistake about it. Gonna cast sleep. Fire 2 of these guys. Slow and dark. So I'm starting to get the hang of playing this game with 4 black mages. Yes, they're still at a handicap based upon their physical resiliency. But once you know how to strategize your usage of the magic spells within within the area that you're given, I mean, the game really starts to fall into place for you. And I'm glad that these guys are missing less and less with their physical attacks, because it was pretty annoying to have them continuously miss the enemy. It's still not a lot of damage, because again, mages are not that good in terms of melee. But at least they're not missing as much as they used to. $64 points, 210 pieces of gold. Nice. 1,629. Okay, so 1,629 more points to go before we level up. But I still would like to have a bit more of a better payout here. Okay, one measly ogre is just going to be worth one usage of the ice spell for each mage. 80 damage, good starting hit. And he's down. Alright, 1,172, so roughly another 400 more gold in order to get the next lightning spell. You know what? Here's what I wanted. Actually, I've changed my mind. I want to stock up on some potions for the time being. Now that I'm being poisoned less and less, and my two guys are taking less damage in battle, it's easier for me to now stock up on potions than ever before. So, let's just see what we got. 3 pures and 5 heals. So, I'm just going to load up on some pures right now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's now stock up on heals. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. That's good enough for the time being. 15 heals and 10 pures. We're gonna increase that arsenal significantly as we go along. But I definitely need to get my potion supply back up to a reasonable level, so we don't get put into an any awkward situations while we're outside of town. Now we're just gonna rest up in the inn after all this. Okay, with that being done, let's get right back out into the open and get right back into the action. Now, I still want to see if I can encounter a green ogre, because they're supposed to leave behind even better money. So if I go past this little mountain valley here and into the forest, I may actually run into some more wolf packs, because this is wolf territory. But now the enemies are hitting me less and less because I have higher evade. Okay, he hit me good on that one. Okay, it looks like I didn't need to use the ice spell after all. Points, 225 pieces. Okay, so it's much more easier now to get back my money than ever before. Let's only focus on one ice spell for this here ogre. You know what, as a matter of fact, here's what we can do right now. You know what, that one elf in town who said that there was a castle in Northwest that he thought was too spooky? Let's pay a visit to that little castle. So we're gonna go up a little bit further this way, past this little river end. And I'm just gonna conserve some of my higher level magic here by focusing on the riffraff. And now, if it was like more than one creep, then that would be a different story. .34 damage, 19 damage. 64 points, 210 pieces of gold. Okay, so here's the castle in question. Let's take a look. So we got bats flying around. Oh, look at this. There's a king in here. So who's he? Astos double-crossed us. Again with Astos, go south to the Cave of Marsh to retrieve the crown, then bring it directly back to me. Dude, we only barely met, and now you're giving me a direct order to retrieve a crown for you? I mean, what do you need a crown? What do you need a crown so bad? Now look, I get it. You got fucked around by Astos, but now unfortunately that makes us your little pawns. We're not even your subjects, we're your little kingdom. Well, you know what? Whatever. Let's humor this king and get him his precious little crown. But that will happen next session. We're not going to be doing it this session. And this door is locked by the Mystic Key. Again with the Mystic Key and the locked doors. Or we can't catch a break here. Okay, so spooky castle with one king occupying it, but it's still a castle with a king. So, okay, we're just going to have to do what he says. One ice spell, falls a snake. So is there anything else up here that we can take a look at? Nope, just more rivers going to and fro, going to and flow. Fire 2. I'll do another fire 2, sleep, and slow. Another 12 points. On to... Guess that's a waste of a spell charge because I already dispatched all the other creeps, but you know what? Whatever. That's the way the dice rolls. 96 points, 240 pieces of gold. And I don't know why I went back in here when I didn't want to go back in here. Let's get back out. Alright, let's head back to town. Alright, another fire 2, another sleep. Let's put this guy in ice, and let's put some darkness. Let's put these guys in darkness. Points and 240 pieces of gold. We are raking in the money. 1,207. How much more left? 1,106 more points to the next level. Oh, another note. We have crossed 5 figures for our total XP. Alright, we have more than 10,000 experience points collected. Go us. These wool packs are not worth wasting magic on. I'm out of here. Well, this stream's almost to cross into the 3-hour mark, but... Ugh. 30 points and 50 G. Now you can see some marshland over there. That is important, because we're going to need to be in that little marsh in the next session to find our next dungeon. But again, that's going to have to be held off until next session for that. Okay, we got more wargs and regular wolves, so let's just cook them up like turkeys. That's right, keep missing me. Aside from that one that hit me with 21. $1,373 more points. I need another 1,500 to get my next spell. And poisoned. Yeah, you know what, I'll just give him a good rest up. I'm not too worried about being too low on money now, because I'm making money hand over fist, and that's what I want to see. I'm not just making money, I'm making fuck you style money. The kind of money that you'd actually want to have in your purse. You know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna face up against another little snake. I want the good money. The ogre money. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry guys, the dog. And 225 pieces of gold. Okay. So we now have enough to go buy ourselves our next magic spell, so let's go and get ourselves another lightning spell for the next mage. RPG and Retro now have their respective lightning spells, so good. Again, this will make fighting on the open seas that much more better, but for the occasional enemy on land that's susceptible to lightning, this will also be a major godsend. Yep. Lost intelligence. I guess it could be argued if any of these ogres had intelligence to begin with, but whatever. Okay, impressive that he stood up to 2 doses of fire too, but we're just gonna have to knife him to death now. I'm actually missing an ogre. These guys are big hulking beasts, how can you miss them? 97 points to enter 90 pieces of gold. 747 more points until the next level, so it's not too long now. So again, being the broken record that I am, level 10, we're gonna be stopping this session for today. Okay, only 1 more charge on lap that. Slow him down, and dark. Okay. Very funny. Let's cook a few spiders, shall we? Ah, the classic victory tune. Who can possibly forget? Okay. Well, you know what? I do have another lightning spell, so let me see if I can take it out in the open ocean. And all I get is a measly shark. Oh well. Fine, whatever. 66 points and 66 CG isn't too bad of a payout, but even though as much as I pretty much prefer triple figure payout, but whatever, I'll humor it. It's one enemy, I'll just humor it. It stood up to 4 doses of lightning. How resilient is this guy? But he missed me. So let's cut up the shark and make shark fin soup out of him. And we're making shark fin soup. Come to think of it, I don't even need to stay at... You know what? I want to buy a couple potions right now. So let me see how much money I have. 654. So that's enough to help stock up on a few more of the... a couple more pures. And even probably a few more heals too. So we're going to replenish our pure supply. 16, 17, 18. This game does not let you buy in multiples, sadly enough. It's unlike future versions of this game, which let you buy in multiples, so you're not always doing the same individual purchase over and over and over again. This is another drawback to the game, aside from the fact that you can strike an empty space even after an enemy's been defeated, all because you're expected to play the game strategically. Yeah, but sometimes you don't always have a party of 4 enemies to face every battle. Sometimes you're gonna have 1, some of you guys have 2, sometimes you have 3. Like in this particular case, you're just facing 1 lone shark. Alright, so we're gonna make more shark fin soup. Come on, the shark wants to die. And that's what... There we go. 66.66 G. Alright. But if I can face off against more... You know what? I'm not even too sure if it's even worth fighting out in the open seas anymore, because it seems to me that the payouts are just not as good as they are in land. When you face off against, like, enemies like 3 arachnids, or even an ogre with an army of creeps. Let me just give it one more encounter here and see if if my theories holds true. Slow and dark. Besides, we are also on the verge of leveling up, so we're almost at the 3-hour mark here. Cook 'em up. Cook 'em up good. Yeah. it's quite clear to see that the payouts are just not good on the open ocean anymore in terms of experience. I can get good experience and good gold on land near the Elf Kingdom. You know, I don't really want to waste any more time like this. We're already entering the 3-hour mark of this stream, and I do need to pack it in because I haven't had my lunch yet. Okay, let's take a quick look. 600 pieces of gold, 409 more points to the next level, so roughly another 4 more battles, and we should be ready to level up. Okay, so unfortunately I'm seeing an ad break indicator on my screen, so yeah, so during the ads you're just gonna see these guys just face off against this here lone ogre. Unless you're a subscriber, then you wouldn't be seeing the ads. At least depending on what Twitch's ad viewership policy is. Now, remember, when it comes to ads, I'm trying to keep the bare minimum in, so it doesn't become overwhelming to the viewer here. Oh, guys, this is good. So I guess I can face off against these zombie guys here in this area of the kingdom. That's just the way I look at it. And they leave behind good money, but these guys can paralyze like a bitch. Thankfully, I got a preemptive strike, so I don't have to be at the receiving end of that paralysis treatment. Alright, 351 pieces of gold. Can't scoff at that. At least at this stage in the game, I can't scoff at that. Okay, so this would be a good grinding area for gold, I find. Okay, so we're pretty much on the verge of the next level. At any moment now. If I can only get one green ogre to face, that would be fantastic. And nope, I get preempted by a horde of imps and a werewolf. Lovely. You know, I'm gonna roast them. I'm gonna roast them like turkeys. Ugh. $56 points, 157. Okay, we're still not at the next level, unfortunately enough. We should be leveling up anytime soon. I mean, I could check the stats screen to see how much more needs to be done, but... you know what? I'm not playing fuck around and find out with scorpions. They poison and they hit hard. Get me out of there. Get me out of there. Are you kidding me? Are you... Seriously? Oh, fuck's sakes. Fuck's sakes. Okay, okay, okay. We're definitely gonna have to improvise here. Okay, good. Fire 2 did some decent damage against them, but I am poisoned like up the wazoo here. He's slain? Fuck! And I had to finish the battle just as he was slain, so I can't beat feet. 300 points, 280 pieces of gold. Well, that got my other guys to level 10, but RTRO does not get the level up because he's dead, so I have to... Unfortunately, this desynchronizes the leveling. So, okay, first things first. Yeah, that kind of put my plans in the shitter for the moment, so it looks like RTRO is gonna have to be leveling up after everyone else levels up. So I'm gonna have to get back to town. Scorpions at this stage in the game. What a dick move. let's just get this guy back to... Okay, hang on a minute. How much more? 1,570. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to just focus on getting everybody healed up right now. Well, that's a bit of a piss-off, because now I don't have synchronized leveling anymore for all 4 of my guys. Okay, you know what? This was bound to happen. So we're just gonna have to make the most out of it. Let's just get this last battle done and get Retro here to his level of 10. About damn time that ogre fell. He's still not leveled up. What in the ever-loving fuck, dude? Okay, I could check the status screen, but I don't want to check the status screen. I know I'm being petty by doing this, but... I know he's on the verge of leveling up. One fucking snake. Okay, this game is really testing my patience now. Oh, is it testing my patience? No, I'm not gonna give you enemies with big payouts. I'm gonna give you enemies with little payouts because I enjoy being a dick. So your little retro friend is gonna have to wait until he gets to level 10 compared to the rest of your brethren because, haha, very funny. I don't even give a damn about the status effect spells, I just want these ogres dead. Okay, finally, level 10. All this because of those fucking scorpions. Never forgive them. Okay, any case. Well, they've leveled up. They leveled up first, so I have to look at Retro now to see what the real next level requirement's going to be. So 3,811 points, and they have 3,511 points to go. So there's a difference of 300 points between 3 party members and 1 party member that fell in battle. But in any case, I do have enough money to buy another lightning spell, so let's go get one. And let's see how many potions we have. 20 and... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stock up on another 2 pure potions to make up for what happened during that scorpion encounter. Then we're going to stop at the inn, rest up, and end today's session. Heals, 10 pures, a cabin, in case of an emergency. Also, let me take another quick look. Fire to lit 2, fire to lit 2, fire... No. Okay, and fire to lit 2. Okay, so CAPR is the only member of my party who does not have his own Fundara/lit 2 lightning spell yet. Okay, so now we have to go rest up at the inn. Okay, so let's just take a look at what our final count is for today before we call session. 608 pieces of gold for our purse. We have 6 level 1 charges, 4 level 2 charges, 3 level 3 charges, and an additional charge for level 4 spells. We have 11 for damage, 24% to hit, 6 defense, and 59% evade, which is good. which is good for our mages, as long as they're above 50% evasion. Oh, okay, so it varies between different mages. So VTuber here has the biggest evade. I think in this case, I'm going to... Okay, I'm not even sure if that counts because I already stayed at the end. Oh, you know what? Whatever. So this is going to be this. So this is pretty much going to be the last thing we're going to have for today's session. So all of my guys are right now at level 10, and next time we're going to attempt the Marsh Cave, which is the first real dangerous dungeon in the game. It makes the Temple of Fiends look like nothing. All right, so we're going to close this down and go back to our regular bubble screen. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks very much for being part of today's session. I hope you all enjoyed today's little romp for Final Fantasy and my little convention story regarding pinball. So, we're now gonna see who's online to raid. No speaking English. Thank you very much for your 1,500 bits cheer. Really appreciate it, man. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. And Pro on Pro Gaming also thanks very much for being here today. And we also had a good chance to talk pinball and pinball stuff. Okay, so without further ado, let's see who's ready to raid. Okay, let's just get ourselves back up to the regular channel here. Okay, my friend Alexia Bridget is on, so we are going to raid Alexia. Okay, guys, say hi to Alexia for me, and until next time, have a good one.